Officer Reeves's shift was ending. The setting sun cast long shadows across Pinecrest. He should be relieved, eager to head home, but a knot of unease tightened in his gut. He'd seen her earlier, a young girl with auburn hair, like spun copper. She was wandering alone, her small frame dwarfed by the looming silhouette of the old textile mill on the outskirts of town. Reeves knew that mill. It stood as a skeletal reminder of Pinecrest's better days, now a haven for stray animals and troubled teens. He'd warned his own daughter, Amy, to stay away. The memory of her bright smile, forever frozen in time, pricked at his heart. He pushed the thought away, focusing on the girl. She was too young to be out alone, especially in this part of town. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. It was a beautiful sunset, yet it did little to ease Reeves's growing anxiety. Pinecrest had its share of problems, but children disappearing wasn't one of them. Not yet, anyway. This girl, with her head down and shoulders slumped, seemed oblivious to the potential dangers lurking in the shadows. His gut churned with a father's instinct. He couldn't shake off the feeling that something wasn't right. He told himself it was none of his business, that his shift was over. But the girl's vulnerability, mirrored in the fading light, tugged at his heart. He thought of Amy, her laughter echoing in the hollows of his memory. He couldn't ignore this. The old mill loomed larger as he approached, its broken windows like vacant eyes staring back. The silence was eerie, broken only by the rustling of leaves and the distant barking of a dog. This was where dreams came to die, swallowed by the shadows and dust. He remembered the day Amy died, a car accident, a senseless tragedy that stole the light from his life. He'd been a different man then, full of laughter and hope. Now, he carried the weight of his grief like a shroud. Seeing this girl, so close to the age Amy would have been, ripped open old wounds. But it also sparked something else, a flicker of purpose. He had a chance to do something right, to prevent another family from enduring the same pain. He parked his patrol car a safe distance away, not wanting to scare her. The girl was now at the mill's entrance, a dark maw against the twilight sky. He approached cautiously, his hand hovering near his holster. This could be innocent, a child's game gone too far. Or it could be something far worse. He pushed the thought away, steeling himself for whatever he might find. "Hello?" he called out, his voice firm yet gentle. "Are you all right?" The girl turned, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and relief. Tears streamed down her face, leaving clean streaks on her dust-stained cheeks. "My sister," she choked out, her voice barely a whisper. "She's trapped in there." Her words hit Reeves like a punch to the gut. Kidnapped. His worst fears confirmed. Adrenaline surged through him, chasing away the ghosts of his grief. He was a cop first, a father second. He had a job to do. He entered the mill, his senses on high alert. The air was thick with the smell of decay, and the silence was unnerving. He followed the girl's directions, his heart pounding in his chest. He found the girl's sister, a little thing, huddled in a corner, her eyes wide with terror. The relief that washed over him was overwhelming. He'd found her. He'd brought her back. As he led the sisters out of the mill, the first rays of dawn pierced through the darkness. It felt symbolic, a new day dawning. He embraced the girls, their small arms clinging to him. He didn't let go until their frightened sobs subsided. It was in their tear-stained faces that he found a glimmer of his own redemption, a flicker of hope in the ashes of his grief. He had saved them, and in doing so, he had finally begun to save himself.